Yes, I'm in a little bit early, trying to get this tablet set up so we can find ourselves here. How's everybody doing on this beautiful Friday morning? Actually, it's 11 a.m. here, so it could be lunchtime for you guys, right? Okay, got one watching. Let's skip the thing. Let me see the chat. Says we've got someone watching. If there's somebody there, please say hello. Just getting our tablet there set up. Hey, Kathleen. How you doing, sweetheart? Kathleen McGee is in the house. How you doing, sweetheart? So, I don't know. I'm going to try a little lavender rose. Hey, Miss Mefford. We got Catherine and Kathleen in here today. Hey, Miss Mefford. We got Catherine. By the way, it feels so good to be able to have that little tablet over there. Oh, other than I can hear myself. Hey, Audra. Okay, so I have this set up perfectly, but yet I'm hearing myself play back. Okay, so I have this set up perfectly, but yet I'm hearing myself play back. What the heck? I'm just going to have to hear myself because I'm not messing with this because everybody's in here. So we've got Renee. Hello, Renee. Hello, Pam. Hi, Audra. Sherry Ellis, how you doing, sweetheart? So that's going to drive me crazy. I'm not going to be able to listen to myself talk in the background. That's going to drive me crazy. I'm not going to be able to listen to myself talk. And this is a new tablet. I don't know how to turn this sound down. This is a new tablet. Please. Oh, there we go. Oh, it worked. Yes. Okay. I'm a quick learner. How you guys doing? So busy at school, lots of, yeah, there's some schools that they're out today and then they make a 4-day weekend for them. Hi, Dee. How you doing, honey? Okay, so last week I spent a lot of time on resin. So our little Valentine piece. Now this is kind of weird. Just as I turned it around, it almost looked like the part of a heart. I know this is not heart-shaped, but I bet you if I wanted to mop out some heart to it, I'll flip this over for you guys. Oh. Okay, this is weird. My phone is backwards. There we go. It's not allowing me to flip. That's really strange. The same way. What did I do to my phone? So the gold in this looked like this golden rain when it was coming down when we were doing this. And I didn't show you guys this, but I had a bunch of partial filled resin hearts that I was experimenting with. And right as we got off air, I rubbed a little interference blue on the back of the heart and then stuck it right to the canvas so I could remember that I made this thing on Valentine's Day. So, hey, Marjorie, how you guys doing? So, what am I going to do today? I've got a couple boards set up here. I want to try swipes, acrylic swipes, and we'll try to do some texture on top of them. And why I want to do two, I can get this other one out of the way for right now. And it's going to be interesting when I try to move the wet one over. I want to try some colors with a white cell activator, black cell activator. Okay. Hey, Hope, how you doing? So when I did this piece, I know I keep bringing this thing up. This was that white swipe that, yeah, that jasmine pink's pretty. This is that white swipe that I ended up decorating, but just as I did the gradient piece where I took varnish and color and created a glaze over the top of the effect, what I'm thinking is another option for doing swipes with white cell activator. And this is what I'm talking about. And this one I varnished over the texture, right? So we varnished over the whole thing and we varnished over the texture. In this one, we just simply did the nacreous clouds. That's actually a term for these things. I looked it up. Nacreous clouds. They form in very, very cold climates. And so these were added on, but this white cell activator wasn't touched. So what if I take and do a white swipe, let it dry, then I varnish over the whole top of that color. I could go pinks, blues, purples, turquoises, and coppers, any kind of color combination that you like. And then add that texture. And I'm sorry, I'm probably going to keep going down that road until I get this out of my system, because I've never seen anybody do that. And it's just, I want a big one on my wall. So I'm a little hung up on that. One other thing I wanted to say, when we got off camera, I had a little resin left over. And one of those green molds, remember I was working with the sunflower and that big tree of life mold. Same company has, there's two different that have different patterns inside. And what's interesting about this one is you can see some of it's matte, some of it's shiny. So I rubbed some interference violet over, I believe it was the matte part. And this is really interesting what I got. This is a really great beginning for something you can do in a mold. And since this is only part of a layer, right, I thought technically I could flip this over, because I think this is supposed to end up being the backside, and then pour more color over the top of it. But it's just an experiment of what happens when you're putting a little, and see, it's just the pattern of what was matte, it stuck, and what was shiny, it didn't. So I thought you guys might find that interesting. I didn't want to just keep it to myself. I thought you might like me to share. Okay, colors today. I saw something done with some purples and oranges and yellows. Well, good afternoon, Fairy Art Mother, Hope, Holland York, Marjorie, nice to see you guys. So glad you guys could join us. So I'm thinking, I don't know, I got excited when I saw the oranges and the yellows. It was actually Fairy Art Mother that told me when ooh, who's here? Yeah, glad you found me. Thank you, Holland. Is this your first time here? So glad to have you join us. Part of the family. Tuesday, Fridays, and Saturdays. And the replays are always there in case you cannot join us. So yeah, I saw something today that was just a really beautiful, bold, yellows and purples and oranges, and got me excited. I'm going to actually do 2 swipes. I want to do one with, yes, but there's going to be purple in there. There'll be purple mica in it. So I'm going to swipe one with white, one with black. And you know, I never do an undercoat, but I'm going to do a little gray undercoat that I have here. Surprise, surprise, not my normal thing. I have, now this is 1 part heavy gel medium and 5 parts. Hey there, Scarlett. How you doing, honey? You got the rotten virus. I hope you do feel better, sweetheart. This is 5 parts vivid enamel, 1 part heavy gel medium, because I'm not necessarily using tube paint that already has a paint base in it. So I've got to add a little bit of paint base in it when I'm using pigments or customizing stuff, right? So let me get my handy dandy. I'm going to get a fat paddle out here that we can dole out, or acrylic in every one of these cups. And since we're going to do 2 boards, we'll see how clean I can keep my workspace here. This part I could have had filled up. I mean, I came prepared today with most everything mapped out. I had fun stripping the table down with all that silicone and resin that dripped everywhere on the Valentine piece. But hey, that's the That's the fun part of doing this, right? Okay. Well, I actually want to do a purple, and I don't know how it's going to react. I'm in love with this fluorescent purple from Vivid Intense. Actually, the periwinkle. Sorry, I grabbed the periwinkle, so it must be the periwinkle that got my attention. Got to make sure that I've even used this bottle. No. Yeah, it's the sad thing. The girl leaves it on the back table and walks by and pets it. My goal for 24, don't leave it in the drawer. You know, you get something, open it up, do a little color chart, play with it. It doesn't do you any good sitting in the drawer. So because this is Vivid Intense and not purely pigments, right? And I do want some good opacity under this white and black. I should be measuring it, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to do a really saturated, see how this turns out. Yes, we're going to play with that Aztec yellow, Casey. Yes, yes, yes. And I also want this pretty saturated. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's add 5 for good measure. I know you guys are used to seeing me use 1 drop at a time, but I really want some saturation this time. This is that old rose. So it's a red, but not really a red. It's got a pinky red. I'll kind of go with this color family that we got going on here. Same thing. I'm going to put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the old rose. And I do want to do an aqua in here. I also have a magenta as a backup if I need it. So we're going to see what this looks like. I am going to do Vibrant Aqua. Make sure you shake them really well too. Yeah, because the turquoise and orange always works well. There's for pure complements, you know, a green blue, if it's a green turquoise, goes well with a, what, red orange. 4, 5. Okay, to doll these up, add a little glimmer. I do have one more here I was going to play with. Let's start with the, let's see, I got my 16th teaspoon. I'm going to put some interference blue in the periwinkle. It's going to kind of lend itself to that. That's a lot, actually. Didn't mean to go a little overboard. Question. Mad issues for over here. Cut me, but there's 50 tubes of paint. Could I see? What do you mean, could you see them? My husband kept my art, took in garage heated, but there's at least 50 tubes of paint, resin, everything. Could you see what? What do you mean, honey? Not understand that. Did they freeze? That's the question. Not all paints reconstitute after it's frozen. I don't know where you live or how cold it was. You did say he had it in the heat. The only thing you can do is open up and do little swatches on them. Best thing you can do is just try them. Open them up, do a little color chart, get yourself some heavy duty mixed media paper, right? And just take a little water with them and paint them out. See what you get. If it works, yeah. Should be able to use them. Let's see. I'm still doing that's an 8. That's going to be really sparkly. And I'm in a violent mood. Maybe it's because I'm still left over from Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day. Hope everybody had a great Valentine's Day. Really hope you guys had a beautiful Valentine's Day. And this is the Vibrant Aqua, because I wanted to go more of a green-blue cast instead of a blue-green cast. I'm going to use some interference green and some sparkle green in my aqua. You can see the difference in the particulates too. This one's really super fine. That's your interference, really, really fine. And this is the sparkle. Big difference between the two. So one has a little bit bigger flake, more flash to it. One gives you a little bit more of a shift when it turns, right? Okay, let's see what these little puppies look like and see if they need to be dressed up a little bit more. So this is that Vivid Intense Periwinkle. Hey, Evie, how you doing, sweetheart? Nice to see you from Orlando, Florida. That's still a little bit pastel. I really wanted that, a periwinkle color. I can see some of that sparkle in there. Let me get it back to the camera so you can see that flash of blue in there. It'll probably show up a whole lot more. That's the only thing. My eyes are spoiled with resin. In resin, we see everything. Normally, you guys see me mix the color in the mica and the varnish, and I'm just going straight into the acrylic because I'm going to add a little spot of varnish to this, but just because I wanted to be able to get through two pieces today. Ooh, this one's really interesting. Look at that. Wow. Okay, I like this because of that added saturation. Look how beautiful the violet is in that. Yes, we need more of that yellow. If I'm going to do two canvases, that's not enough. So let's, I'm not going to pussyfoot around here. We got two pieces to get through today. They're swipes. I'm going to do the white one first and then the black. So if a little bit of white gets into the, on my thingy dingy. Let's add more drops. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, there's still probably plenty of mica in there. I went a little bit heavy on the 1/8 teaspoon. Was kind of a little bit heavy duty. I don't know. I want something darker. I'm really liking this, though. Wow. That's a pretty yellow. I'm hoping that that sparkle shows up enough in there. It does here, but it's, again, it's odd looking at it in acrylic versus resin. Because resin, we're so spoiled, it's completely clear when we're staring at the colors, and it's like an ASMR for your eyes, right? So, same thing with the old rose. I don't think I have enough here. Let's just go for it. Not going to waste anybody's time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, that went 5. A couple more of my clear paint base mix. 5 parts Vivid Enamel, 1 part Heavy Gel Medium. Might as well go all in on this and add a little bit more of the aqua. And quite frankly, a little bit more in the violet. I kind of underestimated. Normally, I end up with so much extra paint. Here, I'm trying to be misconservative here. And I keep forgetting we're doing 2 boards. I just put a hefty squeeze of that in there. And the Vibrant Aqua. Let's get a couple more drops of that one here. I already added some more Old Rose. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Yeah, this Vibrant Aqua with the green is going to be really pretty. But you see it'll turn into a greener, greeny teal because the mic is going to shift it more towards that green light. I put Interference Violet and Old Rose And I put interference violet in the Aztec yellow. I'm kind of in a violet mode today. She's keeping notes. Good girl. She's keeping notes. That turned out really pretty. I'm liking this vibrant aqua with that interference green and sparkle green. Not bad at all. Wow. Thank you guys. 17 watching. Thumbs up. Thank you, Holland. That's very sweet of you. Now, as you know, Old Rose is got, it's red, but it's that cool red. So you can make those really, really pretty pinks. Again, I'm so bummed because acrylic's just not as pretty as resin. I'm sitting here trying to get it to flash for you guys. And it's just not gonna the same. It's just not gonna be the same. Here, I want to get it's really thick, so I'm trying to get this mixed and not splash it all over everywhere. So just for grins and giggles, because I can, and I can add a little more bling to everything, I'm just going to bling it all up. Let's add some blue diamond, and you get some violet diamond, and you get a car, and you get a car, and you guys get a car, right? That had gold, that had violet, this has blue, this has green. Call me crazy. I'm in a sparkle mood. You miss painting? Well, then I'm so glad you're here to play with us, girl. No more missing painting. Not allowed. I know you got to get your hands on your stuff. Well, it's just because I'm missing I know it's because I'm missing that pop and wow of seeing it in resin. Like I said, it's like buying diamonds, you know. You see the first diamond, it looks fabulous. Then you see the last diamond, then the first one looks yellow. Same kind of concept for me on, you know, you put these colors in resin and it's like drop dead gorgeous. I want to sit and now see it sitting on the top gets me excited. But once it's mixed in, it's kind of milky. There's a little bit of flash there for you guys. It's milky. There you go. Now I see some sparkle. Of course, it doesn't hurt that I stuck the varnish and the diamond right there. So even the clear varnish is making it sparkle excessively on the top of this. Right, it's getting a little bling bling. Okay, let's get them all mixed up. Now, I was going to do something fun with silicone today. And I left the little ball across the room. So I guess you guys got saved. Unless I can find another little tool, I might use a tiny little pointy screwdriver that I have on my table. Oh, that turned out really pretty. Now, these are gorgeous. All right. All right. Now, I am an fairy art mother, and anybody else that knows me can attest to this. I'm not the girl that lays down a flood coat under a swipe. Hey, Mandy, how you doing, honey? Welcome, welcome. Good to see you on a Friday. Okay, so what order am I going to put these in? Well, these two we know will go well together. They'll blend into each other. And actually, these two, if they run into one another, will make a... We'll kind of make a green where they hit one another. It could go a little green. I really did want to mix up some Madagascar Ruby just to add a bright orange to this thing, but maybe I can do it in the next board because this one's going to be I think this one's going to be the white one first, and then we're going to do the black. Okay, so I've already mixed up a gray. It's looking a little bit blottomy. So I'm going to add some more. This is Amsterdam titanium white and a little bit of Amsterdam bone black. bit. I want to add just a tiny bit more of white. Looking at this thing, it's looking like it needs a little bit more white to it, just a tad. And then, oh, thank you. Well, bold is bold. What are we gonna do? They actually look kind of mellow to me, to be honest. I'm hoping they're not too bold, to be honest. And then I know this is crazy, but purple added to and lavender rose may seem like a weird choice. I mean, I could go with black plum. I was going to go aqua or go purple. Actually, let me grab my black plum if I can find it over here. It's way over here on the other side of the room. I have my set is set up the same way. Yeah, here's some black plum. You can add purple. You can add a little brown. You can add a little turquoise to the gray. And it just makes it a more interesting gray, my humble opinion. But since I put purely pigments in there, you realize what a risk I'm taking. How gray is that going to be? Is it going to still stay gray? Okay, there you go. I added some white to it. Ooh, that's pretty. So it's a gray, but it has a slightly cool tone to it. You see that? It took on the purple, so it's not a black and white gray. It's kind of a cool tone gray. That white in there is kind of thick. All right. You don't see me crossing myself. Yeah, I love a lavender gray. It's really pretty. See me crossing myself, going, whoa, Nelly, right? So let's see what it does. Again, I am not the girl that normally coats it. I'm super old school. My swipes were 2017, and we did not coat the canvas. But I was looking at this piece that this young lady named Scarlett did, this gorgeous piece in my hallway. She's a friend of Judy. Judy, you know who I'm talking about. And I believe it's not the same Scarlett that's in here, Scarlett the sorceress, right? But Scarlett, when she had that auction, I bought that gray swipe from her. Gray back swipe with just gold, black, and a little bit of red, and it was gorgeous. And I keep staring at that every day I walk down the hall. So this is what inspired the background. It was actually Scarlett, Judy, who inspired this. So we'll see how far this goes. Again, I'm not trying to, oh God, come on. Squeegee thingy, help me. I just want to have a background to swipe into. Well, this may be the wrong tool, but I'm definitely not going to use my swipe tool to spread this thing around. Because I want to keep that clean with that black and white cell activator. So, just going to get a light coating on here, nothing right home about it. It does have a little bit of a purple to it. Ooh, somebody did a piece on the group page. Bijana. That's a gorgeous name. She is the one. She did a beautiful piece on the Art of Color page. Those of you that don't know, we have a new group called the Art of Color, ARTE of COLOR. It's a Facebook group, and it's small but very active right now. We just formed it just a few weeks ago, just before Christmas. And yeah, quite lovely. Yeah, so I don't mind that little bit of purple tone in there. That makes my gray a little bit prettier than a regular gray. Now, I know it's not running. Everybody always makes it all runny. So you guys can scold me afterwards, tell me I'm doing it wrong. But I have this thing about wasting paint. And I have this thing about the paint being eaten up by the base color. I guess I'm super protective of my colors on top, right? So, even though this is not, I got something on this stick that's sticking. Okay, I'm going to break down and use this. I'll have to wipe it off, but I just really want a smooth background without having to tilt and pour a bunch of paint off. There we go. That's a little bit smoother, a little bit easier to play with. All right, so off center like last time, dead center. I could go left to right, but I think I'm going to try to do a dead center swipe. This is more of a color test, but if it turns out pretty, I'll decorate it more. See what happens. On Facebook, yes, it's on Facebook, honey. The Art, A-R-T-E, of Color, C-O-L-O-R. It's a new small group, but Bijana's work is stunning. I know she won the Piece of the Month. That's how I happen to be familiar with her right now. Catherine and Sherry Ellis are kind enough to help us with that group. Gerald, Janelle, well, thank you, Janelle. Congratulations. Okay, so swipey dipey. God, now it's pretty with the blue settling on the top. Now I can see some sparkle in my Vivid Intense periwinkle. Okay, so I kind of want to do a, I know I'm laying too much color out here. I like the look of a more random stop and start than just straight lines across. But then again, I feel out of practice when it comes to swipes. This is the wonderful thing about these lives. I can show you how to mix colors, how they react, and then I get to play on a live with this, right? That's pretty fantastic. And fool around with the paints and experiment and make messes with you guys, for you guys. We got this old rose in here. My paint's kind of thick. I'm hoping it's not too thick. And you're right, they are turning out to be pretty bold colors. Oh, thank you, Catherine. That's very sweet of you. Working on getting some new people in the group or to show up for the live. Yeah, coming soon. I'm going to try to put out one long form a week. That actually helps subscribers find you better than the lives. The lives are harder to find. You have to know about them. So, oh, you can't wait to see this? Okay. I'm very nervous about my work, so that's why I sit and I laugh at myself, right? One never knows what one's going to get on the YouTube Live with ColorPlay. All right, because I'm swiping right, I got to get everything moved over here. Sorry, guys. Last time I did this, my elbow bumped up against my paints and something was behind me and I couldn't finish the swipe all the way. So I got to remember my landscape here and how much room I do and do not have. Right. All right. Let's see what these puppies going to do. So I'm going to start. I really want to do them. I'm dying to do the black. But I really am going to start with the white first. Okay. So I try to keep a little tidy here. Put a paper towel down this time so it kind of absorb what I'm going to put on here when I'm at them. I have smaller tools. I promise you I'll keep looking. I know they're here. I bought another set of those hair tools. I just cannot find them. And it bums me out. And I still have not gone to my post office box. If Priscilla's on here, she'll just be sighing, probably a big, deep sigh when she hears me say this. I have still not made it to my poster locker, Priscilla, with those cool little handmade tools you sent me. She makes her own swipey tools, and I was fortunate enough to have her send me some. So I'm going to start in the middle, and I'm only going to catch the violet to the bottom. Okay. She actually has a video showing you how to make your own. It's awesome. Really awesome. But because of my being injured, I couldn't walk. Is there a way to make ColourArte products look vintage? Yes. Yes. Actually, what you can take is some Van Dyke Brown. Carol Nelson does this all the time when she's aging things. Take a little Van Dyke Brown and kind of, it depends on, of course, it depends on what you're working on. If you're on texture, you can antique the texture paste by going over with antique, you know, the Van Dyke Brown, spritz with water, let it get in the crevices and, you know, wipe off the top. It depends on the process and what you're working at. Simply saying just yes, this is how you do it, is not really going to help you because every single technique is different, guys. They're all different. But we can talk more, Catherine, about the particular project you're thinking of. But yeah, there's always a way to antique something. You can glaze over it. There's all kinds of stuff you can do to antique. Glazing's the most common way to do it, a varnish glaze with some kind of color tone, and it softens everything. Right. Okay, this last one, I'm going to see me put my thingy here on, put the paint on here, but I'm going to have to move the thing forward in order for me to get to the board. So, because I want to get up to this top part. Looks like I have a little skip. Oops. And I think that's why people like to have their backdrop color. In case it skips, there's an oops, right? What did you see? You guys are talking about something. Okay, so we still have some purple and some yellow and all the turquoise on the top, right? So I'm thinking a little bit more of my rose colored here, the old rose. This may look a little out of balance because the turquoise is on the top and all those colors are on the bottom, but hey. This is my experiment after all. Let's get some white cell activator on this little puppy. This little spatula works great, but it's a little wide for some pieces, right? It's not bad. When you turn it upside down, it allows the, wow, these cells are coming up nice. Very nice cellage happening here. Add a little extra Floetrol to my mix. Oh, man. I skipped. God, I feel like doing that one a second time. See all that paint on there? I know this is not normally what people do, but what the heck? It is my messy swipe. So just, yeah, I saw that container sitting behind me. I lifted my elbow up and I didn't come all the way across. So it's my bad, really, not the tools. I made the mistake. Yeah, I did it. It's psychological knowing you got no room to go this way. Don't want to waste all wet paint. Wet paint! Actually, I hardly have anything dripping off. There is a little bit of what I'm scraping off, which again, if you're super careful, the more you can lift it up. The trick to the swipe is not really have anything left on your tool except a little bit of whatever the color cell activator you're using. I mean, really, if I was a better swiper, you would think I was amazing at this. Okay, my paper towel looks like it's pretty saturated, and I'm not going to get much more. I keep turning it so I can get this clean, because I don't want to redistribute the other paint. Well, that's kind of interesting. Didn't need to go at an angle. Wonder what made me go at that angle. Not sure how to fix that other than to go over it a couple times right where they connect. Think about that. Okay, let me get some more cell activator on this. This is gonna be off camera to the right. You can't really see me over here doing this over here, but it's gonna be cleaner this way. All right, I kinda wanna make sure I got the paint everywhere evenly distributed. See if I can come straight down. Damn. And then straight down again. It would be retreating, interesting to have an angle. Yeah, well, I'll tell you, those tree swipes I'm seeing people doing, I really would love to try one of those things. This looks like it could benefit from a tiny bit of more of the yellow. I mean, you know, I do have the ability to keep adding color in here if I really want to. No rule says that I can't, right? So I can keep swiping. We're getting some decent sellage. Get a little heat on this thing. Actually, I've got a pile of paint here I'm going to have to move. So I don't think the heat gun's a good idea at this very second. Do you see that? Let me finish this area here. I'm getting ahead of myself. There we go. Because there's a pile of paint right here I'm going to have to address. And I'm just going to kind of go right in the middle as gentle as I can. And see what the hell happens. Okay. So looking at this little masterpiece, what have we got so far? Feel like the cell activator's pretty heavy right here, but I am going to let it do its thing. And give me a place to put this. Out of the way, safe spot. And try the next one in black and see if I can learn a few lessons from my last one. Now, I don't know if I want to go gray on this background, to be honest. Sorry, guys, I just rubbed my eye and I might have gotten a little pain in my eye. Give me a second. Just give me a minute. I know this is going to sound crazy, but what the hell? I'm going to actually use some white cell activator on the bottom of this black one. Sound nuts? Probably. But I don't want to go gray. I want to have a white base to go over with that black and see what it does. And I didn't mix up just some Amsterdam titanium white and water, which would have been perfect. I'm cheating and throwing some cell activator on there. Not nuts at all. Well, thank you very much, dear. See what it does. I mean, we'll get sellage top and bottom. Then I just have to be really careful not to go too thick with the swipey color on top, right? And just spread it real thin. Because again, we're not flooding this off. We're not throwing any of this away. We're just trying to get a base coat. Now, those colors were a little bit namby-pamby for me. I like the yellow. The purple was okay. I think it needed a little more bounce. I do want to mix up some Madagascar ruby. Actually, yeah, but our friends, Miss Casey's gonna like this. I actually want to add some yellow to it. There you go, Miss Casey. You like Madagascar ruby, Janelle? I love that color, right? I really do. I think it's a, man, the white wants to just crawl out of the cup. Looking for a clean tool to get some of this out. Now I don't need as much. It seemed kind of soft and pastel-y, and I was looking for something really bold. Now another thing that our Kathleen McGee reported this morning, she had used, okay, so watch me do this. I know this may seem a little nuts. Ooh, that was a lot. Oh my God, that had to be about 5 drops. Didn't mean to put that much in there. And then my magic spoons. And I happen to have the spoon that's an 1/8, but it's about half full. So it's about a 1/16 of a teaspoon of Madagascar ruby. I'll put a little splash of the varnish in this. Now, Madagascar ruby is a deep, deep burnt orange. It's a type of ruby that is not red. It is orange. Why the mellow yellow is I really want it to sit up there under that black. I want this really intense under the black. Okay, then to doll it up a little, I know you're going to think I'm a little nuts here. You never see me do this because gold mica has a tendency to dominate stuff. But I'm going to put a little scoop of the golden maple in there just to see what the hell might happen. Again, be very careful when you're using bronze, copper, gold, those kind of iron oxide coated, because they will try to dominate everything. But I think it's going to add a little blast of color. And then our own Kathleen McGee, I started to talk about that. She made, now, I'm not going to do the cell activator that she did, but she made a cell activator using, what was it, Vibrant, cerulean blue, that's right. And the, come on, where's that lavender rose? I just had the lavender rose. And I know we tried this before. And she had used the cerulean C and mixed it with Floetrol and made a cell activator out of it. And had really good luck with it. Oh, you know what? I swear before the next video, I'm removing every one of these child safety tops I can't stand them. I promise you that only 600 bottles went out with them. When we were forced to ship them with that, here we go, it finally came off. But they're just, you have to get the right flip and twist. And because we knew we had problems with the glass ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, not 10, 11. That's a, now that is the metallic. That is not the pure color. I'm going to mix it with a little bit of varnish. Wow, that's crazy how it's turning. And then just a teeny bit of this. I don't want it too much, just a tad. Just because I'm going to add one little stream across the purple and see what it does. Purple normally doesn't show up under black, so I could be wagging my own tail here and not have any luck, but this will just add a little more dazzle on top of that other color. All right. So this time I am going to do the turquoise all the way across, but I'm going to double do the turquoise. I want a big fat line because the turquoise is going to be my main color. Both sides of the swipe. So I'm going to swipe this way. It's already lopsided. Great. And the other way. So it's almost like I'm putting in a small double line here as a gauge where my center is. I envy Priscilla having all her stuff already mixed up in squeeze bottles. I'm not at that point yet. I need a little help over here, to be honest. It's kind of busy running the company and then doing 3 lives a week. It's a little bit of a challenge. Don't mean to sound like a whiner, but it gets quite busy. And so in theory, write down blue, blue, turquoise, turquoise. All right, let's do the purple. And I do have a lot of paint mixed up for this. Uh-oh. Don't get sloppy, Leslie. So let's see how thin of a line I can make. How thin of a line we can make. Uh-oh, did my elbow just get in there for you guys? I think, okay, I'll go slower, sweetheart. I'm with you. Anything that works there, Miss Fairy Art Mother. Judy, Fairy Art Mother, thank you. Go a little slower on this swipe. Okay, I will. Just kind of let it drag slower. And then this fabulous Madagascar ruby. Let's just put in a nice line. Get a nice line of it here. I am used to working on bigger pieces. I know these are 12 by 12s because we have limitation on the camera. I think I'm putting enough paint on here for a 16 by 20. Not a 12 by 12. Okay, so I'm going to go the bright orange on the bottom. I'm going to go our beautiful Aztec yellow on top. Actually, this thing looks dead center, so I don't really know where the top and the bottom is. I think I also have a lot too much paint on here, Judy. And you're right, if you go really super slow, I really am tempted to use acetate and not that thing, but it has a tendency to skip. I know I got some paint on the bottom, and so the acetate may save me. Yeah. Yeah, slowly all the way down. You're right, honey. I know she's right. And I don't have, I have this big acetate sheet. I know it's not within my reach, but it's an old one that I found the really best grade of plastic to swipe with was what they used for packaging. When I got my gel press plate and it came with that nice piece of plastic to protect the plate, it's just firm enough, right, to hold up with all that paint on it, but still pliable enough. Okay, what color have we not used? Oh, this one, yes. We're gonna try this special purple. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Little special purple that we mixed. See what it does. Kathleen had luck with it making a cell activator. I'm just gonna add a little dark line. Some of that purple in there. The more paint used, increase the cell size. Okay. So then it's not a bad thing that I got more paint going down. Well, then what? The heck with it. Let's just use it, baby. I'm used to covering the whole thing with paint and not leaving any gaps at all or any ends at all. That's the old style of swiping. You didn't use a flood coat. And yet there is a benefit to it, because if you skip, you're not going to see the canvas, right? You're just not. I can see people saying things to me and I'm not looking. What Judy Sands says. Yeah, but I'm not spinning. I've tried all my spinners. I can't get them up on this table. Oops. And fit here to make this live happen with the way I've got this set up. With all my product around me. Believe me, I'll keep trying. Because, we kind of want to keep trying. Yeah, paint is thick, have to go slow. And it really is thick. Okay, what am I missing? I don't have any of the Madagascar Ruby up here. My way, well, the last few swipes, if you watch my previous videos, it was on a dry canvas. The entire canvas is covered with paint and then swiped. And I'm gonna continue getting all the paint out of the cup in here, sort of go that direction, even though we know we have the backup plan underneath us. It's not gonna hurt for me to go ahead and finish putting all these colors out. Why not? It is, after all, my swipe. It's a lot of paint. By the way, if John was here, oh my God. Jasmine's on the back of my chair here, dancing around, wondering what I'm doing, of course. What are you doing, Mommy? There's only one spot of that yellow in there. That's not good. Just ask Miss Casey. We need more yellow. Let's add a little more yellow in here to brighten things up for Little Miss Sunshine. Casey and the Sunshine Gang, right? Wasn't there a movie that was Casey and the Sunshine? Or was that the name of a band, Casey? Was that the name of a band? Hopefully somebody knows the answer to that. Yeah, let's add a little more yellow. To me, I wanted to experiment to see if all these colors hold up under black, and decided I'd do a white one just because. Yeah, Casey and the Sunshine, was that a band? ha, ha. There you go, Miss Casey. When I think of Casey, I think of sunshine because she loves yellow. I mean, loves yellow. So every time I'm on here, that's the request. Are you going to use yellow? So be prepared. There's going to be a lot of paint coming off this. I'm going to go super slow. Again, I wish I knew where my big plastic piece is. I'm going to look behind me, but I don't think I brought it in here. I've been toying at it, figuring out a way to use it, cut it, do something with it. And no, I don't see it, sadly. The thing is, it's big enough to cover this entire canvas. And so what you do is you do the whole thing in one swoop. You don't have the slices like this gives us slices. But this is a test. We'll see how the colors hold up. I promise I'll bring my big piece of acetate back. The stuff I used for years, it's all stained in black. I just don't see it here right now. That I can grab real easily. I don't think it's under the table. Nope, that's not here. I have regular thin acetate. This stuff you can buy by the packet, okay? It is too thin. The stuff that they use for packing just has a little more weight to it, right? So, all right, so we're starting in that center where we said we had the turquoise line and went purple on each end. Let me get a stack of paper towels out here so we got a swipey place. Oh God, yes, I've done that myself, Casey. The spins, it looks like a nautilus shell. Casey's talking about doing a spin swipe with a cake tool. It's the bomb. The bomb. But I can't fit my spinner on here just yet. Listen to Leonard Cohen now. Are you listening to Leonard Cohen right now? Now my cell activator seems a little thin, but it's been recommended to me that there's a little more Floetrol in my cell activator in order to get big cells. So we'll see. Now I am going to cover the whole thing this time, not just the tip, because I'm going to go really, really slow. Slow. All right, we're going to go real slow. And I got nothing behind my right elbow. Okay, this one's for you, Miss Judy. Yikes. All right. Now, that feels like the old day swipe right there. All right, I'm convinced. I'll show you guys in 1 minute because there's a lot of stuff coming off on this thingy. That's a good question, Casey. What's everybody's favorite fluid art technique? That's an interesting question. Wow. Okay, I'm getting a gazillion cells here. And I don't know if it had anything to do with that metallic that I put down. Or whatever that, yeah, that lavender rose I mixed and drizzled over the purple. But oh yeah, much slower, much better, way more colorful. Still need to be really careful on the end and not rush it when it gets to the tip. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see what we got so far. First swipe. Gonna just lay it down in the paint, let it sit there for a minute, and then just really slowly drag it. Uh-oh, my elbow went up and down since there's a little oop-de-doop in there. It should flatten out. Get your elbows off the table, Leslie, says my mama. Yeah, it's coming along quite pretty. Black always makes colors pop. And I had a feeling that orange, see there's that Madagascar ruby is there. It's coming up really nice. But using this system is going to use a lot of paper towels and stuff. But that's okay. Dirty flip cup. Oh, that's your favorite? Really? Nice. Is this all over my paddle? Get the board up where we can see it. Lay it completely down in the paint. I'm even got my hands off of it right now. Are you inspired? That's really cool. Oh, that's kind of weird how that skipped. Wow, there's a lot of paint came off on that one. And I got a dribble. Oops, which means I got something to fix here. I really don't have much color to add, and that's a bummer that that happened there. I don't know if I can fix it with a little acetate in black. God. Okay, Mandy, what do I do? Yeah. Just this is going to be a fix-it, and it's not going to feel the same. I feel like just picking it up if I could. You know what? I'm going to leave it for a minute. I'm going to just live with that for a second. Flip this thing around because we got to do the other side. I'm loving what we're getting here, pattern-wise. It's skipped right on this one end. Take my finger and get it. What if? Uh-oh. Hey. Sorry for the hey. I just turned around and I've got Harley and Jasmine both fighting, I think, on the back of my chair. Well, actually, there's Harley right there. And I felt this claw in my back. There he is. Mr. Harley. Sitting right on the back of my chair. Yeah, I know. Swipe over it. You're right. They're pretty forgiving. He's pretty cool sitting on the back while I'm working, though. Good boy. Now let's make sure I can flip this thing back. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I know it'll be forgiving. I just, you know, once you do it and you like it, you're like, I don't want to screw it up, right? But we know that nothing's perfect. Nothing's perfect. So let's get some black out here. Casey's right. What did Casey say? Small piece of paper cell activator over the dot. Yeah, I have a tiny little, I just set it aside, a small piece of acetate to go over that one section. That's probably what I'm going to end up having to do. Unless I can find a reason to paint something there. You know, a bird, a plane, Superman, right? Superman, a bird, it's a plane, it's a dragon. What is that pattern that I see? All right. Let's start right here. Laying it down. Oops. Literally laid it down, and my hands are off of it right now. Then I'm going to just try to drag it at the same direction that it's laying. Nice and slow. But still a lot of paint. Man, I feel like swiping that paint right back over here where it missed. Yikes. Too bad I can't just, or can I? That's a lot of paint on there. Can I just drop it off and then re-swipe it right there? Well, that was just wrong what I just did. There was all this paint on there. Now this turned out really nice. That little section's kind of interesting. I'm liking that, right? So going over that ruined my colors. Dag nabbit. This is what happens in a live. And then someone will scrape that off, pour more colors on it, cut that part of the video out, and you never even knew that they made a mistake. Nothing's ruined. I know, because I should be able to go over the top of it. And Harley, what is he doing? He is so, he will not leave my side right now. He's never bugging me during my lives. Get off, baby. Go on. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Okay, so that's sitting down. Gonna give it the good old college drag. Nice and slow. Much better. That's what it should be. Stand it up and let it run. Yeah, like we did on, is that what you said? Scrap it and do it again? Look at that, though. Wouldn't that play? I see, that's what I was trying to figure out how to do. That would make a beautiful transfer. But I don't, if there was more paint on there, I could get that to run off, right? And fill in a spot for me. That's what that whole transfer thing is about. You know, we used to do it with a palette knife. Oh. Years ago, when you tried to get it off of something, we'd take a small palette knife. Well, see what it's doing right now? Isn't that beautiful? God, that's gorgeous. I'm loving that color combination. Yeah, I know. But how do I don't think this has enough paint on it to actually do a transfer. But we used to sit and take, like, you know, the same thing you see them when they take it and they pull it out. Ooh, put CA on a tiny knife and swipe gently on the dot. She's right about that. Let's fix the dot. I knew the dot would be bugging Mandy. Here's a palette knife. Miss Mandy. Man, but I don't want to go down. I kind of want to go up into this. Work and go into the center. Sadly, I don't think we get a chance to get anything the wrong, but I'm still staring at this. Is this gorgeous? Is this gorgeous or what? Why I can't transfer that, it's driving me nuts. If I let it dry on this paddle, you see that sparkle in that violet? Yo, colors are gorgeous in this thing. I know. All right, it's gone. Sorry, guys. That pretty, beautiful transfer. Boy, it would make a beautiful skin. You're absolutely right. A gorgeous skin. Really pretty skin. was I gonna do? I could have just let it dry like that, Stacy, and then peel it off. And let me tell you, it would make a beautiful skin. But then we couldn't finish our last section. I still like the odd corner of this one. You like it? I don't have a second one of these. But good point. If we had two, absolutely. Good thinking, Miss Casey. Good thinking. Yeah. Okay. Let's get right up on here. Yeah, they make beautiful pendants. Dropping my paint down in there, hand is off the thing. And then going extremely slow. Thank you, Miss Fairy Art Mother, for reminding me. Oh, wow, what happened? Well, I still have a little bit of blue on the top of these. I'm going to re-swipe a couple areas. You guys may not agree with me, but only color I have left is the color sitting in the middle that never got swiped, right? And this yellow, we finished everything up. I put it on the board. So I don't have any more orange or anything else I can mix up. But there is some. Now, I gotta say, part of me is tempted. Oh, great. I just stuck my finger in there, so I think it just answered what I was going to do. I think I'm going to do the unthinkable and actually start on this end. Make sure the whole thing is covered. My little doohickey here. Because I'm going to swipe down the center. I've got all that loose paint that never got touched. You can tell everybody I was a nut job on camera today, but... And then really let it all the way down to where it's barely touching this canvas. Holy shit, that pulled up way too much paint. I don't know if I can touch that up. Remember, that has that white base in there. Just need to pull a little color down in there. I think I have a tiny bit of that pink left somewhere. A bit on the stick, just to kind of bring in that pink and get rid of that hole. Oh, no, there was. Actually, there was so much on the surface. Look at what came off. There's so much paint, it all came off. Be honest, this thing is loaded. I think the way this tool is, yeah, I know. I think the way this tool is, it really, laying down the center, if I laid it all the way down, then it's a whole body is in the paint. So I kind of like what's happening here. So I'm going to just see if I can't tilt and move that paint down. So my patchwork, that part of the patchwork slides down without me having to swipe it. Okay, this is kind of crazy, kids. Kind of looks cool as is. Well, it's too bad I can't do it this way, like swipe it like that. This looks pretty trippy right here. I'm kind of digging what happens there, but there's going to be a lack of paint, and I can't seem to get it to settle. But here's the good news. I mean, the colors are beautiful. That vibrant aqua mixed with the green, that Madagascar ruby, and the yellow really holds up under that black. Yeah. I need to get back to school with my old, I don't know. This one might need a little bit of dolling up. And be honest, I might want to put a little paint and re-swipe right here, but it's going to have to be dry first. You know, I don't know about messing with it anymore while it's wet, other than getting the heat gun on this thing. And get all my cell activators and all my dirty papers out of the way. Why are you looking at that and not me? Here you go. You like the center part of it? Well, I'm going to put a little heat on it and see what happens. Definitely not what I planned, but that's the interesting thing about lives. Not what you had in mind, I understand. I agree, Janelle. That's the one thing, you know, Bruce Riley, they interviewed this resin artist. He kept saying, when I go into the studio, I clear my brain and have no expectations. I'm like, how the heck does that guy do that? Because I have expectations all over the place. You know, ideas when you started what you want it to look like. Looks like a good start to tree swipe. You're right. Look at that. Oh my God. That actually looks like a big tree trunk. Doesn't it? You're right. It kind of looks like a big tree trunk. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this thing. I really wanted to do some more resin decorative work, but I also wanted to see what our colors look like under that black. And the Madagascar ruby and that vibrant aqua and the Aztec yellow look really pretty together under that black. So we know the colors will pop. And this is that vivid, intense periwinkle and a little bit of that vibrant aqua. Yeah, look at that poppy yellow. That Aztec yellow is gorgeous. And again, the test for the black was, can the color hold up under yellow? Now my little gray background turned a little strange. Maybe the purple gray was kind of the wrong way to go. But the colors are pretty darn vibrant. And again, this might have benefited from a center swipe. I just chose to let it go. Oh yeah, we could paint on limbs, but this is a pretty fat trunk. It looks like the close-up of a tree swipe, right? You know what? I appreciate you guys so much hanging with me. Really, it was about the color today. And Judy's right, taking my time. I need to find my original swipe paper that I really love to use. It's, like I said, it comes as the packaging cover to things. Like when I got my, oh, looks good in your bathroom. Yeah, when I got my gel press plate, when I've gotten other products, and it's sealed with a plastic protective cover, when you peel that off, it's a heavier grade of acetate, and it's the perfect thickness for swiping. So I want to thank you guys for joining me. See you guys 3 days a week. I'll be on tomorrow morning, Pacific Standard Time at 9 a.m. There's only 48 hours left for the Valentine 25 code. We were kind of doing a quick sale for Valentine's Day. They got about 24 hours left, maybe 48. It's going to come off sometime on Sunday. And there's a 25% savings if you type in Valentine 25. Thank you guys very much. Hugs and kisses. Have a beautiful day. See you tomorrow. Bye.